Hi, Jeff here from Quiet Ride Solutions. What we're going to be doing today is installing our new AcoustiTrunk product. We have this product for all the popular makes and models of cars from the 50s all the way up to current. Today we happen to be installing this on a 2014 Mustang GT. So the kit comes with a full insulation sound deadening kit and the aesthetic, the nice, pleasing to the eye trunk mat. We have these trunk mats with logos available. You can get them with smooth, no logo, or with logo, and we have various logos available. So what we're going to be doing is installing the installation kit first. We're going to go through all the steps of the installation, and so what we'll do is we'll get started. All right. So as you can hear, one of the main reasons why we like to get some insulation and sound deadener in the trunk of these vehicles is noise. The mufflers are down right underneath the trunk. You get a lot of exhaust pulse and rumbling and all those kinds of noises coming through the cabin because this portion of the vehicle is still inside the vehicle. All you have is the rear seats that do fold down, by the way, but those rear seats are all that separates the cabin from all this noise reverberating in the trunk. The trunk floor, the insulation is going to stop that noise. We have high performance cars with low sidewall tires, wider tread path, higher pressures on the tires. You get lots of tire noise, road noise passing in there. I did a drive test on my way home. 95 decibels in the cabin, holding a decibel meter right in front of me as I was driving down the highway. 95 decibels. I can tell you the car's a little bit uncomfortable to drive. And that's not a high performance exhaust, that's stock Ford. It's just a Mustang GT. It was 95 decibels like I said, and then this morning after we installed this kit, 90 decibels. That's 5 decibel drop just from installing a trunk floor insulation kit. And that's just the trunk. Could you imagine what the rest of the kit would do? Floor kit, roof kit, all the other kits that are available from Quiet Ride. So it's a nice change, I'll tell you that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove the stock trunk interior items, the trunk mat, some of this upholstery side panels in here. These particular panels have like a bolt and then a push pin that we're going to remove those, and then once we pull those out, we're going to remove the spare tire and anything else that's mounted in that spare tire well and anything else that comes loose on the trunk floor, and as well as the jack. So once we get all that out, we're now gaining access to the trunk floor itself. We need to have everything else because the insulation and sound deadening is going to be adhered to the metal of the trunk floor. So let's get started taking this stuff out, okay? Okay, so we've got this stuff out. The next thing to take out is some of the side panels in here. Depending on your vehicle, this one has a bolt and a push pin on each side. It's pretty simple. So we pull these things out and then we'll get the sides out. So any clips are going to come out, and then this panel will just pop right out. And the other side. And what we have is we have access to the full floor, as you can see, because our floor insulation kit's going to come all the way out to the side here on the wheel wells. Okay, so we've got all this out, and as you can see, what we're looking at here is what the factory calls sound deadener. And you can see that they have some stuff, some caulking of some type here on one panel. The rest of the vehicle is pretty hollow. You have your mufflers on either side of this portion right here. Tire noise, road noise. This is a big portion of the vehicle that's only divided by the back seats. And so you get a lot of road noise and exhaust noise coming into the cabin just due to the fact that there's nothing in here. So that's why our trunk floor insulation sound deadening kit is so important. It's going to make a big change on the sound quality inside your cabin by just the amount of reduced sound coming from your trunk. So let's get to the installation. Okay, so what we're going to do now is install our AcoustiShield trunk insulation sound deadening kit. And this particular kit fits 2010 to 2014 Mustangs. And so what this kit includes is Dynamat Extreme sound deadener, heat shield insulation, and all necessary installation materials, the 3M contact adhesive, the aluminum tape. The instructions are right here, as you can see. It's all pre-cut direct fit. So this is a kit that when you pull out all the pieces, it's going to lay in just right. You're not going to have to do a bunch of trimming and guesswork. It's all laid out for you. The instructions describe where the materials go and how to install them. So let's get done packing this kit. We'll get the components laid out so you can get an idea of what's inside it and how it lays out in the car, and then we'll get to installing it. Okay, so as you can see, we have everything out of the package laid out. On the instruction sheet, what you're going to see is the layout of how the heat shield goes into the vehicle, and we've laid it out according to the instruction sheet. That way we can get an idea of what parts go in where. And as you get into it, what you'll do is you'll dry fit stuff, you'll test fit it in there, and you'll kind of get an idea how the stuff goes in. Right now it's just a big puzzle. Looks kind of confusing, but once you start putting these things in the vehicle and these pieces with the notches and cuts start taking shape inside all the different features, it's going to make sense. It's just, it fits in just right. So the first stage of this insulation and sound deadening kit is the Dynamat Extreme sound deadener pieces, and as you can see, we've got them out of the pack. There's various shapes and sizes. Looks like there's a whole stack of what is called the J, and these all have, according to the instruction sheet, their own proper placement, and each other piece has its own shape and size, and the instruction sheet designates where each piece goes. So what we're going to do first is we're going to pull all these pieces apart, and we're going to lay them in the trunk, dry fitting them. Dynamat is paper backed. You peel the paper back off and it's sticky, and that's the side that's going to go to the vehicle. The top side has an aluminum facing, nice Dynamat logos. That way it's clean to the touch. So we're going to lay these in according to the instruction sheet, so that we can get them all positioned right. Then what we'll do is we'll peel the paper backing off one by one and just start sticking them back down. And we'll use our Dynamat roller that's included in the kit, and the heat shield insulation is installed using the 3M contact spray and the aluminum tape. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but let's start getting this Dynamat laid out. Okay, so according to the instruction sheets, laid out all the Dynamat, and so it's all dry fit, just laying in here. So now what I'm going to do, just to make it easier on myself, so I don't mix up where I've placed them before, is just pick each one up and peel the paper off and reposition it. So let's get to it. Okay, so the next step in this process is actually rolling it down. But before I get to that, I just want to explain a little bit about the Dynamat layout. So the factory has put stampings in the floor and through the vehicle. As you can see, the difference between the two, where there is not Dynamat and where there is Dynamat, is different. Or where the Dynamat would go, I should say. We're going to put Dynamat in between the stampings because these areas are rigid spots. The areas in between are hollow. They're going to resound with any kind of vibration and noise, so we strategically place the Dynamat where it's needed. And so that way the rigid stamping doesn't get Dynamat. We Dynamat in between the two areas. And any of the areas that are more you know, just flat without any stampings in it, they really benefit from Dynamat. So that's why the Dynamat is placed the way it is, because it's used where it's needed. So the next step we're going to get to is rolling this down. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to dry fit the heat shield insulation in here and get it laid out. And looked at the instruction sheets, it's pretty straightforward. These, you can see all these notches are going to start making sense. Notches and cuts and reliefs and all that stuff once it starts getting installed. Okay. You can start to see how this stuff comes in. Here's another thing we want to do is I've removed the wire loom holders, and they just came right off like this. Different, all cars will be different, but you want to get your wire loom up because we have those loom holders, you know, cut and marked so that when you do lay this in, you don't have to cut any material. It's already cut for you. That way, you don't have to spend all your time trying to fuss with it. So just once you locate those looms, you just push right through, and almost basically positions itself. It's going to line up where these pieces go. It's pretty slick. Okay, so now we're going to start spraying the glue. What we're going to do is pull one panel out at a time, and we remember how it fit in. We kind of got an idea of how it sat. And we're going to pull it up, apply some glue, and reinstall it. Okay. So on this panel, this is one of the larger panels in this kit, and it has some pretty interesting obstacles and features that we're going to be working with. And being that when we apply this glue, what we're going to do with this 3M number 20 contact adhesive is we're going to be spraying the glue to the back side of the insulation, applying an even coat, and then we're going to spray the vehicle where this piece is going to be positioned. You spray the two surfaces. By the time you're done spraying this one, you go on to spray that one. This will tack up, it'll kind of dry to the touch, and then when you're done spraying that, you come over and get this piece, the other side will tack up, and when the two surfaces meet, they're going to stick together really well. So positioning is important when using this type of adhesive. You do have some adjustability if you position it lightly, but when you press down really firmly, the material is installed. Okay, so what we're going to do on this one is, to make it easier to work with, being that we want to get through these looms and not have anything mispositioned, I'm going to go ahead and just install the center with the glue, and then I can work in the vehicle after that. And you'll see what I mean after a second here. So you can see the fashion that the glue's coming out. Okay, so I'm going to spray the center part right here. That way, once we get this installed, it'll position itself. Now we're going to spray the inside of the vehicle. Now, on the piece that I just sprayed glue, basically that piece where I apply glue is about from here to here. So I'm going to apply the glue to this area as well. Okay, that'll help me position it. Okay, so I folded the ends over. I have not applied glue to these outer wings, if you recall. Just this area has glue right there. So what that's going to do is it's going to help me to position it without the other pieces sticking and getting stuck in a position that I don't want them in. So what we'll do is we'll take this piece, we'll position it lightly, paying attention to where the edges are up here. And then fold these over, make sure our wire looms are matching up. Kind of lift and reposition lightly. You have some adjustability if you don't press down yet. Let's see. Get this piece over. Okay. And I'm using my wire looms as a positioning guide. As you can see, that looks pretty good. See that? Now, being that I've only sprayed glue on this portion right here, what I can do is, now that's stationary, it's not going to walk on me. Now I can work on getting these tricky pieces that are unglued around these wire loom posts. Okay, so now we're going to be working with this little bit more technical area with these wire looms. So being that we want to get these up and out of the way, one thing I've found easiest to do when it comes with these tight areas and the sticky glue is to position it correctly and then lift and spray. So it's going to be like a, get it in there where the wire loom's above there, lift this up, spray the metal where it's going to go, spray the insulation, it's already tacked up, meaning it's already dried sufficiently that it's sticky, and we're going to just reapply these down. Make sure we get that wire loom hole through there. can use your jack mount, your spare tire tie down as a centering point. Just get this laid in here. Make sure those are positioned together. Lay it down there and lightly set it in. Make sure you get your wire loom positioned. If you're happy with how that's in, I see I can adjust this over just a tad. This goes down. And starting from the center, walk your way out. And you are glued in. Now the next step is going to be to apply the seam tape, the aluminum tape that's going to tape over all these adjoining edges so that this insulation is seamless with the aluminum foil barrier. Let's get to taping. So here's a little pro tip for you. The aluminum tape, it's very thin, it's pure aluminum with a sticky layer on the bottom. So it can get kind of difficult to handle if you tear it like that, the whole thing, trying to get that edge up. It's gonna, you know, get your fingernail under there if you have them. I don't have any fingernails, but if you get your nail under there, then you can do it again. Or when you pull a piece of tape off to install it, leave a little bit of excess off the end there. That way when you come back to use another piece, you can continue peeling where you left off. You don't have to try and find a nail under the paper again, and it just makes it a lot easier to do and move along with some speed instead of getting caught up trying to peel tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to install the tape now on all the joints where any of the materials have butted together, and that's key with installing this kit. You get a seamless seal on the aluminum foil facing, as well as cleaning it up and keeping any edges from getting frayed. So we're going to install the tape 50-50 on each piece. It's not rocket science, it's just tape. Get a half on half of each piece, lay it down, put your hand over it, and just apply some pressure. It's pretty straightforward. And if you pull this paper off as you go on the roll, it makes it a little bit easier. I hope I'm not blocking the shot with my head there. And you can always lay a piece down and just get this paper out of your way. Keep going. Okay, so like I said, on any part where the material seams together, you just want to get some tape in there, seal that up, 50-50 coverage each piece, run that down. So we're going to put the factory trunk floor cover back down, the spare tires back in, as well as the jack. So this is the trunk mat with the Mustang GT logo embossed in the surface. It is a raised logo, as you can see. It's very nice with the modern GT, the running horse, and this one's patterned for the 2013-2014 Mustang trunk floor, and all the makes and models would be patterned specifically for those makes and models, and it's a very simple install when you get to this point. It lays in there and you have a very nice piece. And this piece installs very simply. Just put it in, bring in the wings, bring it forward, lays in. It has a little strap cut out for it. And that is installed. Dresses up that trunk floor very nicely. And then the side panels on these are pretty simple. And all it is a screw on this side. I'll get a ratchet and tighten that down, and then a plastic push pin right here. All lines up. I'll get a pin to put in there, and then on the other side, and it's all buttoned up, ready to go.